It's 5 p.m. I'll call tonight's organizational meeting of the Canandaigua Town Board to order. We'll begin with a pledge of allegiance led by Councilmember John Casey.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you very much. Okay. Would you call the roll, please?
Councilmember John Casey,
Present.
Councilmember Terrence Fennelly,
Present.
Councilmember David Sauter,
Present.
Supervisor Jared Simpson.
Present. All right. Thank you very much. And I will mention that the meeting was properly advertised. All right, we do have one privilege of the floor before we start tonight's meeting. Is there anyone who would like to be heard at this time? Okay, seeing no hands, we will go to priority business. Item number 1, town supervisors appointments for the 2025. These terms are expiring December 31, 2025 as town historian. Leif Hergesell as budget officer, Jared Simpson as town deputy supervisor, Terry Fennelly, and as confidential secretary, Suzanne Cerncio. And as deputy highway superintendent, this is number 2A, Mr. Chris Litz as deputy highway superintendent. So those are some of the appointments by town law for 2025. That takes us to item number 3, which is the beginning of our resolutions and motions. Those of you who are following will notice we are moving to our new format. So things will continue to look a little bit different as we go through and as we get used to this. Item number 3, the 2025 town board meeting schedule. Can I get a motion? Seconded by Terry, seconded by Dave. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, that one carries. We'll have to remember any unanimous vote right now is 4-0 instead of 5-0. Number 4, designation of the 2025 holidays. Seconded by Dave, seconded by John. Any discussion?
Supervisor, it's
Yes.
okay. Wednesday, 24th. That would be a transfer station day.
Okay.
You may want to consider being open that day. If you guys want to be out, that's one thing, but it might help the community if we were open that day.
Open on the 24th. Is it usually?
I don't know. If you say no, it's fine. I'm just throwing it out there.
My only concern is it being Christmas Eve. It would be like 6 to 8 p.m.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be the guy who says, yes, let's be open. I don't want to.
Okay,
And then it'll be like put another piece of coal in your furnace tonight.
that's fine.
Are you okay with that? All right. Okay. No, thanks for bringing that up, though.
You do extended hours on the 27th, maybe, Jim?
We could do that on the 27th. Yes, Dave, we can do that.
That might just.
Okay. That works.
All right. Does that work? Okay. Any other discussion on that one? All right. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, that one carries. Item number 5, Canandaigua Town Board appointments. Moved by Terry, seconded by John. Any discussion on 5? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item number 5 carries. Item number 6, the town clerk appointments. Moved by Terry, I'll give the second by John. Any discussion on 6? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Item number 6 carries. Item number 7, the standard workday for the town clerk. Moved by Terry, seconded by John. Any discussion on number 7? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Item number 7 carries. Item number 8, authorizing the town clerk to store board meeting minutes and resolutions electronically.
So moved.
Moved by Dave, seconded by John. Any discussion on number 8? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 8 carries. Number 9, assignment of certain responsibilities to the town manager.
So moved.
Moved by John, seconded by Terry. Any discussion on number 9? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Number 9 carries. Number 10, the annual adoption and acknowledgement of certain town policies and procedures. Moved by Terry, seconded by John. Any discussion on number 10? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Number 10 carries. Number 11, appointment of town clerks. Moved by Terry, seconded by John. Any discussion on 11? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? 11 carries. Congrats, you can keep working back there. You don't have to run out. Number 12, temporary assignment of justices in the 7th Judicial District. Moved by John, seconded by Dave. Any discussion on 12? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Number 12 carries. Designation of official newspaper and radio station. Moved by Terry, seconded by John. I heard that chuckle, Terry.
Well, all those 5 people that still get there.
Let's still get the news, I know. But it's there, it's
Yeah.
official. Any other discussion on number 13? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Number 13 carries. Number 14, the adoption of the 2025 fee schedule. Moved by Dave, I think, with second by Terry. Any discussion on this? I know there were some changes posted on that. All right, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? 14 carries. Number 15, designation of the official depositories for town funds. Moved by Terry, seconded by John. Any discussion on 15? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Number 15 carries. Number 16, payment of the bills following the town board audit. Moved by John, seconded by Dave. Any discussion on 16? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? 16 carries. Number 17, payment of the bills prior to an audit. Moved by Terry, seconded by John. Any discussion on 17? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? 17 carries.
Are you, did you have lunch or dinner orders?
We're flying through, somebody's got to slow down. Somebody's got to,
We'll be sitting here for a while.
we might just put in a movie.
See what this thing can do.
Yeah, let's see what we can do. Let's not speak too soon. Something crazy might happen. Okay, number 18. Is that better? Better pace?
Yeah.
Establishment of the petty accounts.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Dave, seconded by John. Any discussion on number 18? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Number 18 carries. Number 19, countersigning of checks.
Second.
Moved by Terry, seconded by John. Any discussion on 19? All in favor? Aye.
Oh,
Opposed? See, you jinxed yourself.
there you go.
That one carries 4-0. Number 20, use of a facsimile signature. I'll move. Moved by Dave, seconded by Terry. Any discussion on 20? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Number 20 carries. Number 21, the 2025 bid purchases. Second, moved by Terry, seconded by, I'll give that one to Dave. Any discussion on number 21?
Want to talk about some of these? Use up some time?
Yeah, do you have any questions on,
No, I don't.
Jim, any bid purchase comments for number 21? It's okay to be good, I'm just. All right, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? 21 carries. Number 22, the designation of professional service providers.
Second.
Moved by Terry, seconded by John. Any discussion on number 22? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? 22 carries. Number 23, the handicap parking permit issuing agent. Moved by John, seconded by Dave. Any discussion on 23? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? 23 carries. Number 24, the Mercy Flight Emergency Service Provider Payment for 2025.
So moved.
Moved by Dave, seconded by John. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? 24 carries. Number 25, Canandaigua Emergency Squad Service Provider Annual Agreement Execution for 2025.
I will just bring on one thing on
Oh.
that one. It just changed slightly from the agenda review meeting. They had just asked that in one of the lines that talks about there to be, have one EMT and ambulance at town festivals. That just add a line that says upon request. So I added that.
Okay,
I just wanted you guys aware, 'cause it's, so what you're gonna sign afterwards is slightly different than what's on here, because it just has that language added.
perfect. I think that's totally fair. All right, any other comment or question on that? So let's, we don't have a motion, so let's bring up a motion for that.
Move.
Moved by Terry.
What do we, wait a second,
So number 25,
should probably motion to modify the resolution.
So the resolution is not changed, it's just the actual agreement.
yeah,
Oh,
Just
my
some,
apologies.
language in the agreement.
Yeah. So we have a first, we just need a second.
Second.
Second by Dave. Any further discussion on this? All right, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, number 25 carries. And number 26, the Pine Bank Cemetery Board Annual Agreement, moved by Terry,
Second.
seconded by John. Any discussion on this one? I will bring up for everybody, for everybody's knowledge, they are going to be reaching out and asking for some supplemental funding for 2025. Because if you remember, the storms that we had recently took out quite a few trees and a lot of damage to some of the headstones and some of the trees. They're trying to fix it with what they have, but they're really struggling. So when I was getting them to sign their half of the agreement, when I went out there earlier this last week, we had that discussion. I said, didn't see a problem, but we'd bring it up when they knew more of what they were looking at, and we would have that discussion. So that will be coming down the road.
Well, we do cemetery committee and tree committee do a lot of work around the other cemeteries that we're responsible for, so. And this is really, this payment is just forestalling the town taking over the
Yes.
cemetery, so.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It'll be all under ours eventually, so.
On a side note, there has to be some further discussion about the cemetery on private property.
Yes.
Only
Start
got
taking care of it.
45 minutes.
No, not-
I don't think he wants it tonight.
Not
Yeah.
gonna do it tonight.
All right, all in favor of 26?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, 26 carries. I do not have any other business to bring forward for the organizational meeting tonight. Anybody else have any?
Did you wanna, so I emailed everybody regarding the Uptown Landon issue. I don't know if you'd rather discuss it now, since we have 45 minutes, and wait till the other business section of the next meeting.
We can discuss, let's discuss it now as part of our other business. We're not gonna take action on it tonight, but it'll allow everybody to be brought up to speed.
Yeah, it's just an awareness.
Yeah.
So I met with Lance and a bunch of our staff today. We met regarding Uptown Land and MRB, asked for the meeting. Cause as they were going through their comments or starting to make their comments for the site plans. They discovered that, or what they believe, they discovered is that not everything is covered under the incentive as far as the relief from certain requirements of the zoning district.
Say that again, please.
So I'm trying to figure out a better way. It was a long meeting, so I'm trying to summarize this all. So the incentive zoning report that the board approved for Uptown Landon to work under, which basically provides them the relief from all the requirements that are, or certain requirements that they would have to follow under form-based code. So that's the incentive report. We're saying you guys don't have to follow these zoning requirements, you're now following these ones that are under the incentive zoning report. MRB believes that not everything has been covered, so when something isn't covered in the incentive zoning report that was approved for them to follow, it falls back to the underlying zoning district, and it states that in the resolution as well. So they believe there were some things that are missed, that would technically fall back to the underlying zoning district, which is form-based code for most of it. Get to another hiccup after this, so without that, they'd have to be asking for variances, in all these lots. The intent of the board, I believe, when this was all done in the incentive zoning was to provide that relief so that they didn't have to go back for all sorts of variances on every single lot. So the discussion was to amend the incentive zoning to ensure we include the items that they should be getting relief from in doing this project. And one example that I recall was the area size. So there's lot size and there's other things in there, but I guess there's also something called area size that isn't covered. So then that would fall back to whatever the form-based code says. But we don't, that wasn't the plan, that wasn't the intent for them to have to go back for those variances. So now, while we were discussing this, it was then discovered too, as we were looking at the zoning maps and going back to the local laws, was that there was actually a chunk, a parcel, a good-sized parcel in the Uptown Landing area that we believed was under form-based code, because that's what it shows in the form-based code map. But when we went back to the 2021 local law that set form-based code for that area, that rezoned it, it's not, it was left off. This parcel ID was left off. It's reflected in the form-based code map that's also attached, but the actual listing wasn't on there. So then when the zoning map was created in December of that year, it also does not include that as form-based code. That complicates the amendments a little more to incentive planning, because now we have to amend it in such a way that we're also discussing the relief from that particular zoning district for that section, which I think was like R1 something or other. So just a heads up on that. We have to sit down with Nadler, myself, Sarah, some staff, and probably get Lance in to have him really explain to Nadler what needs to be done for this amendment, because he'd be the one to rewrite the incentive zoning plan with Marathon. And so we're hoping to be able to, my plan would be to get that done so that we can set a public hearing on the 31st for February 24th. So we bring a resolution to our special board meeting for bill pay on the 31st of January to set a public hearing for February 24th to approve this amended incentive zoning report. We would still be on schedule with them, because the planning board is going to be looking at it on the 26th. And then the 24th, at the same time, we'd also, the town board would do their approval of the site plans that per the form-based code section anyway. And then send it right back to the planning board for their meeting on the 26th.
So none of this will slow the project down.
Well, we're hoping. Again, this really takes sitting down with legal Nadler to go through it all, see what exactly we have to change in the amendments to cover everything. And then talk about this whole zoning issue.
More important to me, I'd like a list of particulars. And I think we were given certain maps to review when we passed incentive zoning. And I want to have those as reference. I mean, those in my mind were the prevailing document that we were all considering.
Well, yeah, the map,
Maps are-
the incentive zone was based off of the form-based code map, that everything in there was form-based code, and again, that's when we discovered today, as we're talking through. What we need to do, pull up the maps, and it's like, why is that not form-based code? Go back to the local law, the form-based code map shows it as form-based code, so then we went and pulled up the resolution. For the local law, or the entire local law that was passed back in September of 21. And went through to look for the specific tax parcel ID, and it wasn't there.
So I think with this, the intent. The intent for form-based code was for that whole area to be in there for the included in that form-based code. I'm sure that was the intent. I don't know how or why. It was 21, so it was a few years ago. I don't know how or why that was missed, but it was missed. But I think the intent, so the intent didn't change. It's just that one parcel that for some reason was left out.
Well, it's just gonna be some of the area in some of the lots that are gonna be.
Right, but what, we can fix it,
Right,
but luckily we found it now versus going through the process and then having a big issue on it on the other side.
Yeah, and I still think, and again, this could change depending on what, an average opinion is and everything. But I still think it'd be easier or cleaner to just amend the incentive zoning to now include this other zoning district. Rather than trying to rezone the parcel, because then that is going to delay everything. By a few months.
Well, Jared said the intent was there. There's quite a lengthy list of tax IDs.
Yeah, there's almost 2 pages and some,
Yeah.
And
so
And if
this
one
one
didn't get
just
listed.
somehow got missed.
So what we can do is, and this is the best way to do it, like John was saying, we were talking about it a little bit before too. Is if we just, like you're saying, rather than trying to lump this other one in, if it's our 130, we just take it and we include that in the incentive zoning
Yeah,
agreement, and then we're,
because if you think about it, we're
We're
already
okay with
planning
that.
on that chunk of land where Uptown Land is gonna be in, we're already providing them the relief from any requirements that are different from what was agreed upon. So the incentive zone report basically sets the new requirements for that area, no matter what the zone is.
so we just have to match up the incentive zoning to what their project is.
Exactly,
Get-
and then,
get that all from.
yeah, the difference is anything that's not covered in the incentive zone plan goes back to the underlying district. So if 15 years from now, somebody in one of those lots decides they want to do something, they would have, that didn't fall under incentive zone, and they would go back to the R1, whatever.
whatever it was.
I just don't wanna bump this
No.
back like 2 months. I don't wanna go to those guys and say,
No.
hey, you know what we thought was.
No,
isn't
and I certainly
now."
don't want it to be delayed from us, so, and again, I don't know, the report that was done. I mean, I'm assuming Marathon also missed some things because they're the ones that provided us what they needed. And then it was reviewed by legal, and it's just one of those things that you don't think about it until you get to it, and it's like, oh,
Just so long as we can fix it. and
yeah,
get it ready
area
so we
size
don't
wasn't
hold them up,
included,
yeah.
so we need to go back and do that, so. So it's gonna take, I was actually trying to push it, gonna walk a resolution on today to set the public hearing for the 31st, but there'd be no way we'd get all those amendments in. By next Tuesday is when we need to do it to set the public hearing, 10 days out. So this will give us some time, give me time to set up a meeting with Lance and Nadler and our staff to go through and ensure that everything is getting covered that they need covered to get that relief from those requirements.
Lance was involved this morning. When we were talking around the time. But Nadler, not aware of any of this yet.
Not yet. I just in the email I sent to town board, I included him in
Yeah.
earlier. I was assuming he'd be here tonight, so I was gonna talk to him about it. Same time I talked to all of you. So I don't know if he's coming to the 6 o'clock one or not. But that's when I was planning on talking to him, so if he's not here tonight, then I will be touching base with him tomorrow, first thing tomorrow.
Any other questions on that? I think we can. It shouldn't set them. They shouldn't be set behind, and I think we're all in consensus that we want this to be we want to eliminate any potential roadblocks and,
Well, the intention,
we know the intent.
Clear.
Yeah, the intent was.
Nothing's really changed except we
No.
found.
We found it,
We're
yeah,
that
not
needs
we're not
to
all
be
lined up on our end.
pointed out in that amended resolution.
yeah,
Now, technically, they could end up delaying the process if they choose to say, well, now the incentive don't match up to that zoning district, but I would assume they would not wanna do that. So,
No, because we would say, okay, let's
Yeah.
go back through the whole process. We
yeah, they don't
don't
want,
want that either, so.
we're getting close on. Time for the spring construction season too, that they would need to have. Get everything lined up to break ground, so. Okay, any other questions on that one? So at our bill pay meeting on the 31st. There will be that resolution to get that, just to set the public hearing, no action, nothing else to be taken, just setting the public hearing for February 2/24, which is not the 3rd because of President's Day.
Mentioning the 30. Oh,
The 31st, we have our bill pay meeting, just so we can pay our abstract. Yes. So that's the morning meeting to get the bills paid and close that out. Ideally, we don't have business at that meeting, but we're gonna we do now. We do now.
well, this was gonna be it was gonna be on for you guys to review their site plans, send it back to planning board anyway, so
Yeah.
now it's just something different.
Something
for
different.
about
A
town.
little extra.
Little extra for making up for the time that we have right here. Okay, any other business? Anybody like to speak at privilege of the floor? Okay, we do not have an executive session. We thought we might have one, but we will not have one for tonight. So at this time, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Moved by John, seconded by Terry, all in favor? Aye, opposed? Okay, meeting is adjourned, and we will start our second one and
Is the 31st 9 or 10 o'clock?
It is 6 P. It is 6 PM on the dot, and now I will call tonight's meeting of the Canandaigua Town Board to order. We will begin tonight's meeting with a pledge of allegiance led by Councilmember John Casey.
Again,
Again.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, can we have another roll call?
Councilmember John Casey,
Present.
Councilmember Terrence Finley,
Still present.
Councilmember David Sauter,
Present.
Supervisor Jared Simpson.
Present, thank you very much. And the meeting was properly advertised?
Yeah.
Everything good, awesome, all right. We do have written communications and correspondence. First of all, I'd like to welcome, we got a couple of guests tonight that we don't normally see. Thanks for coming out, appreciate having you. We do have our written correspondence, our traffic report and our 2024 social media report. Sue, do you want to make any comments on the social media report?
I will just say, I did a report and looked at our social media footprint, for the year. We've added a couple things to really open communications up with the residents and we have the MyTOC app. We expanded on social media as far as we added Nextdoor. And so the report just kind of goes through, you know, how much more exposure the town got through all of those different avenues. We also have the digital billboard, that there's a report from them as well, with the different ad campaigns we did. And notably, the one that we did in October for firefighters, as a result of that, 4 people applied and became volunteer firefighters, 2 of which said they saw it on the billboard, and that's why they applied. So, you know, as we go into 2025, we look to continue to communicate and get our story out there, and exciting.
Thank you, and I'd encourage everybody to look at that. It's got some great numbers and some really good detail in there as far as the number of people who have that we brought into sharing the information and telling our story. And especially with the digital billboard, because I know we're able, because of that resource we have, we're able to share that with the Cheshire Volunteer Fire Department. I know the Sheriff's Department is using it for recruitment for corrections officers. So it's turning into a really good community tool as well, and I'm very appreciative of that. Okay, we do have our first privilege of the floor for the evening. Is there anyone who would like to be heard at this time? All right, seeing no hands, we will continue to our priority business. We have birthdays for this month. Now they're actually in writing. Before I would get an email, but it's not put in the agenda. John, you get the first birthday agenda item for 2025. So that doesn't mean anything. It just means we never wrote them down, but now we do. So Jess Mull, John Casey, Chuck Euler, Justin Damon, and Ryan Wilkes. Happy birthday to everyone this month. We do not have any presentations. We do have our, when did we want to do our snow plows?
I believe there's a resolution for that.
That's right. Okay, so we'll wait till the resolution to do that. Okay. So we don't have any presentations, any continued public hearings, or any new public hearings for tonight. We do have reports of town officials and department heads. Highway, Jim?
I have nothing to add.
Okay. We don't have anything, we do not have the assessor online, so the other reports are in. I don't have anything additional for supervisor or deputy supervisor. The financial reports are included as well. Any reports from the clerk's office to come forward? Okay. All right, town board standing committees. Finance, our finance chair has not been officially
No report,
appointed
right.
yet. So actually you have been created. We haven't had the meeting yet. So these would be the old, we'll go with former committee chairs too, if we have any switches to share as well. Public Works, Terry, do you have anything to share?
Yeah, we had a meeting last Friday and the North Road road reconstruction project will be moving ahead this year. We're going to have a meeting with the residents in the area on February 10th at 6 o'clock at the academy, when you set that meeting up. Jared, and let's see, there's an item here, MS4 position, you know, that Mike Murphy's working on, getting a job description put together, melding a civil service and MS4 job requirements together. We did get some grant money to study our culverts, so we'll be looking at those as we go forward, various parts of the town. And that's about it. So those are some of the highlights.
The highlights. All right, thank you for that. Ordinance. John or Dave, anything new to share for
Just
ordinance?
John Falvo and Sarah worked pretty hard on bicycle lots for Chris to take a look at, so looks like a pretty good job, so this will pass the legal wand over it.
Okay. Do his magic and away we go. Perfect. All right, and then with economic development, there is an LDC meeting coming up this Thursday, and that's one of the hopes and the focuses with this, to be able to blend, get more with the town economic development through LDC as well. So there'll be more coming out on that after Thursday. We do not have any new reports of citizen board committees or commissions at this time. So we do have a second privilege of the floor. Is there anyone who would like to be heard? All right, seeing no hands, we will continue with resolutions and motions. Finance resolutions, item number 14, budget transfer authorization for highway and water accounts.
So we'll
Moved by Terry, seconded by John. Any discussion on number 14? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, number 14 carries. Number 15, budget transfer authorization for the July flooding capital project H41. Moved by John, seconded by Dave. Any discussion on 15? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? 15 carries. Number 16, budget transfer authorization for Outhouse West Capital Project number H36.
So moved.
Give that one to Dave, moved by Dave, seconded by Terry. Any discussion on 16? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? 16 carries. Number 17, acceptance of bids for the Town of Canandaigua Town Hall renovation project. Moved by Terry, seconded by John. Any discussion on this one as we go through?
The total. What is up around 850 grand total, or? Yeah, these, these 4 different areas. Plus MRB is in it for. What's it about 120, design. Contract administration, all that, so. The original. Bid that we had was around, what was it, 504,000? We missed that cutoff, the state, I can't remember what.
The Wix law.
Wix law, yeah. So. How much of that increase to this number?
How much of it is because of Wix law?
Well, so the total, and this is $717,476 and change. Now, I will just remind the 504,000 from that bid was if we took out all our optional items. So that's what, because we took out everything to see if we can get down below that 500,000, even that only brought us to 504. So if we included everything in as we had planned, we're actually not far off. And I don't remember the exact number from the original bid, but we're pretty much right around the same area of that, just north of $700,000. So because with these bids now, we are keeping all our options in there that we had originally. So it's actually ended up not being too far off, thankfully.
Who's gonna manage, who's gonna be the construction manager?
So MRB has funding in there to do that. We might save a little bit by running the meetings, running the construction meetings ourselves as far as documents and the bills and payment. They will be monitoring that. Yeah, the savings wasn't significant enough to create the risk of doing it ourselves.
Yeah, no, I know, yeah.
To do that.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and I'm the point of contact for everything.
Yeah.
As well.
The total for MRB, including design, everything, I saw it in the bills today, they had another piece of it. That we'll be looking at later. Well, I think their total wasn't around 100 grand and everything in.
I don't know what their original, because I wasn't here for when their original quote to do this came in, but.
That sounds about right though.
Yeah, but when you've got multiple primes, you need a consultant to help you with the management,
Yeah.
and when you don't need that, but.
Well, a big chunk of it was design too. So.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to pay that anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what this, and clarifying on what John said was, this includes both bathrooms and the stairwell
Yeah.
and a few other ones. So I know what you're getting at with, trying to see how much is that mandate costing us? That additional amount. Maybe 10%, 8 to 10% additional because we had to rebid it and do the primes would be my guess. That's a kind of about my guess. It's not a huge number, but with a project of this size, that's still $70,000 that we've got to come up with by using 4 primes instead of 4 subs instead of 1.
And we got kind of lucky with our low HVAC bid was significantly lower than all the others. So had we not gotten that bid, it would have actually been probably another, what, Jim, remember, like 25,000?
Yeah.
Close to 30. Yes, close to 80, wasn't it, for those others?
Yeah.
But I don't see anything in here for MRB managing. I mean, it says it, if they're going to,
That's separate.
The board approved prior to this, because we thought that we would need to go out for 4 primes, the proposal, you guys would have to approve them prior to this.
So there's part of the resolution that says town board director to oversee the execution and administration of the contracts, ensure compliance with a lot of the laws, regulations, contract terms.
And so they are coming, because of the 4, they can't do it at the same price, so there will be some adjustments in that.
So that, you're saying they do have construction administration included in their services? I think Chris is bringing up a good point, and that's language that they'd be very specific.
Yeah, and it's usually a separate contract from their design
Or-
contract.
Or
I don't know.
line item of fees.
Yeah, I'm guessing on that because I haven't seen it. But there's a cost and my guess is it's not a 10% cost. But it's also not an option. You have to pay someone to do that.
So what they're doing is, when I talked to Greg about this, he had originally asked if they could do the 4 at what they quoted for the 1. And his staff just laughed at him.
I was gonna say, somebody laughed.
They laughed at him. He's like, I tried. So they're gonna work with they're going to work with us to try to keep it as minimal as possible to provide the service for monitoring the 4. And keep it as close as they can, knowing they're only gonna charge us. It'll be an hour, that hourly, whatever hourly change it is, that's what will be charged. It's not gonna be a flat renegotiation or new contract with them. It'll just be for time worked on it for the additional cost.
Yeah, so fully clarify, because I was asking these same questions, because again, I wasn't around for the original contract. But they have, the town previously authorized construction administration services. They drafted another forthcoming amendment for addition of administration of the other prime contracts. An extension of the CA services phase to 7.5 months of construction, aligned with bid documents and phase construction. But we're still waiting on that.
Yeah.
But they drafted it.
They're drafting another
they are.
they are drafting another forthcoming amendment to the original.
So. I think someone asked a question who's doing observation. Because I know they're doing administration, but is there any observation by somebody?
We had talked about it and having them do you have the,
It's in here.
yeah. To have them do the observation, to have them do that part, because that's where we talked about it not being
It's
worth it,
it's not.
not being worth the savings for that and opening up, missing something in the extra rate.
Things with the highway barn.
Yeah.
Not having a system observation thing. Yeah, we'll just say maybe some price. With tri-slide.
Yeah.
So it's not
Yes,
necessarily.
so the intent is not to have us take on the observation.
You did ask if you want to be the point of contact though.
Not you.
And I said, I'll take it.
Well, but that's different. You're the owner's rep. And then they're the CM or the
Yeah.
observer or the
Yeah.
administrator. And it requires.
I'm sure I'll be there with you.
And I've never seen Jim move that
But I'll
fast
teach
in
you
his
the
life.
highway barns anymore.
Yeah. All right, so is there any other discussion on this item? Okay, I'll go back to my original page, sorry about that. All right, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, that one carries. All right, number 18, announcing the winners of the 2025 Name a Snow Plow Contest.
It's fine.
Okay, moved by Terry, seconded by Dave. All right, so
We have any of the winners here?
do we have any winners?
Were you on the snowplow?
Were you on the snowplow?
I was, but I don't see my
What
name
did
on
you
there.
submit?
Snowy Gone Kenobi.
That's pretty good.
No.
No,
Oh, wait a minute.
no,
I don't see
No.
it.
that's not.
Oh, no, you said I won. I was one of the winners.
You were one of the finalists. Right? Did you get an email from me saying you were?
Yeah.
Oh, we might have to do it. We might have to buy another truck, Jim.
It's true.
It's only gonna cost $500,000.
Yeah.
But- so we-
Oh, you know what?
Are you Suzanne?
Yes, I.
That might need to go on, that might need to go on your
I
truck.
didn't see my name on there, what it,
And then that's,
and then you said,
we must be missing. We'll throw it out there.
We'll get it on there. So we have, and this was a
We'll
great,
get her done.
this contest was born while Jim and I were climbing on the salt pile for some pictures prior to some of the winter, the first winter snowfall. And
What was it called? Snowy?
Snowy
"I'll
one,
be gone, Kenobi."
Snowy gone, I don't know how that one could not.
Good.
You gonna fit that on one of those blue signs?
Uh,
I don't know how that,
I even clarified. with you.
Smaller
Yeah.
Good.
So be gone, okay.
we'll make,
Yeah, like two others, but yeah,
we'll make it, it'll happen. We'll make it happen.
it's okay.
Cause that was too creative.
Jim's pickup just got named.
Yeah.
We got another truck we can put in.
So we have a Marty Scooper. We have Betty White out. Which I call my brother Betty White when he drives, because he drives really slow. So maybe I could get a picture of him next to Betty White out.
Sure.
Blizzard Wizard. So getting blurrier as I go down. Control Salt Delete. Plowabunga, Plowy McSnowplow, Salt Shaker, Slush Allen, and the Frozen Spot.
And there's the and.
And Snowy Gone Kenobi.
Okay.
So I would like to amend this. So we have it in the resolution for number 10 to read. I'll make a motion to amend to add number 10, Snowy Gone Kenobi.
So move.
All right. Okay, so we have a first and a second, all in favor? Aye. Those are right, so we are adding number 10. So we have the resolution, we have the amendment, and now we have a first and second on the resolution as amended, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, that one carries, so
Make it happen.
we'll make that happen. And we'll get that, and we'll get our.
It's gotta show
And then
up.
you can get a picture in front of your plow.
You'll get a picture with your plow, and then also your phone number, because sometimes at night, like at 3 a.m, if they need you to come sit with your plow and drive it around at
Yeah,
night.
if that plow knocks somebody's mailbox over, they're gonna call you.
You got it.
Obviously.
I'll forward it to him.
Hey, listen,
You don't want to do that.
yeah, all right, well, hey, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
And that was a lot of fun, and I do appreciate everybody who participated in that. All right.
It's not, doesn't mean you can go out and order one tomorrow.
Good night.
All right, take care.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you, guys.
That's what the resolution was for.
No, wait, the motion to buy a new truck didn't pass.
No,
No.
so just the sign.
The budget didn't.
It's gonna go on yours. Yours,
We got more plow, spare truck.
okay,
Okay.
okay. Can we put it on the crew on the big crew cab?
Snowy Gone Kenobi's a good name.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. Yeah,
Just,
it is.
Yeah, I told the clerks too, the first time I'm gonna go through with the new minutes platform, we weren't gonna have any amendments.
Here we go. We're full of amendments.
Wish we really need to have that discussion with them.
It's too funny. The only person who named it showed up. So we didn't have his name.
100%.
$3 million by the time you're done.
Yeah.
It was 102,000 was MRB's original. With that'll change probably with, construction observation.
So 718 becomes 818.
Well,
Yeah,
at least.
Because
Yeah.
we had that amendment to add,
Yeah.
I forget what the total cost was for them having to rebid it. What was that?
Yeah.
Another 8,000?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
So to answer your question, Terry, the remnants of the Wicks law are continuing to add up. So they are adding up in a lot of that. All right, number 19, authorizing acceptance and execution of Spectrum Enterprise Internet Service Agreement.
So moved.
Second by Dave, seconded by Harry. Any discussion on 19? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, 19 carries. Development, number 20. Acceptance of maintenance bond for Pierce Brook subdivision, section 1. Moved by Terry,
Second.
seconded by Dave. Any discussion on number 20?
The cost of, let's see, it was about 10 times this amount. $38,918 to do top coat. So the bond, they don't do it.
It's done.
The bond, we don't get 3,800, we get 38,000.
380,000.
Huh?
380,000, right, Jim?
Right. It's 380,000.
Which is the engineer's estimate of how much the town can do it for.
Right.
We can go higher.
So
They just post
Like
10%.
10% would be what?
38.
38.
3,800.
No,
No,
That's
30,000.
just top out.
No.
it's not 10%, it's 2%
It's
usually.
2%. Okay, I go.
2 to 3% is a bond cost.
It's just, if it's 389,000, this is 3,891, so it's 1%.
It's 1%.
Yeah, that's fine, that's,
But the bond, what does that guarantee? That's just,
so if
what do we get?
So if the developer walks away from the
Yeah.
project and the town doesn't have a road that the town needs to access these houses. The town calls the bond company and says, hey. Actually, with the bond, it's not, so the bond company then goes and finds. A road builder. And so it hires that road builder to come build that road. For $380,000. Alternatively. The bond company might ask Jim, how much could you build it for? And if it's under 380,000, they'll just cut him a check to put the road in itself. Now, if it's more than that, the town's gotta cut a check, but that's why you have your town engineer and your town staff look at those numbers and say, yeah, we can build that road for $380,000.
What happens if they build the road? What happens is $3,891.80.
This is a maintenance bond. This is not a performance bond.
Excuse me.
Maintenance bond,
Oh,
yeah.
it's a maintenance bond.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, then the same thing, but to fix the road. If the road starts cracking, if the road sinks or there's holes in it. The town can spend or demand that the bond company spend $380,000 to fix those problems.
It was it was 38,000. You look at the backup document,
I believe it's 38,000 for the top coat. That's all we're up to.
Yeah.
Maintenance spot.
right?
Plus, we already have another maintenance spot for the base and binder and stone and gutter.
Why would they be paying 10% on a maintenance?
Maybe that's how they can get it. Now.
Because then that would be 10%. If it's 38
so-
of 38,000.
Yeah, 1% would be pretty low, so,
So-
yep.
But yeah, this is just a maintenance bond for the next 2 years. If anything goes wrong with that top coat, they don't fix it, there's a bond to fix it.
Up to $38,000. So this, what happens to $3,891?
Well, once it's done, that, I'm assuming that would be, goes back to.
Goes
Yeah,
back
No,
to
no,
that.
no, that's what the developer pays the bond company, it's the fee for the bond.
So we just
Right.
release it.
So the 3,800,
We got,
no,
No,
the bond company, that's how bond companies make money.
it says the town board has received maintenance bond number 0771960 in the amount of $3,891.
So they would have paid them and
We
issued the bond to
I
us.
don't know if it's in.
Yes, approving the bond.
So I haven't been able to access the. Where?
That's.
So they bought bond number X.
Yeah,
Through the
that
maintenance
needs to be
bond company.
amended. The total amount of the bond should be 38,091, if that's what the. Bond should be, but you don't want a bond for $3,800.
Generally speaking, bonds are not issued for an amount. They are issued for the work. Now, I think what this is saying is that the developer paid $3,891.80 for us to receive the maintenance bond number 0771960.
Which could be 38,000.
Which would be 38,000.
Which could be 38,000. Generally speaking, the bond is issued for the work and not for the dollar amount.
Yeah, you can't tell. You're out.
Exactly.
Maintenance bonds are usually a dollar amount, but that could very well be with this bond.
Are you comfortable? So we,
If it's got a number on it. And it's attached to the resolution, as long as you're attaching what's been approved. By staff, then that should be fine.
Well, it's written, actually, I'm looking at Lance's letter. And
so are you comfortable?
the construction cost was $38,918. 10% of the maintenance bond is $38,991. And that's right from, that's what they wrote there. My curiosity is, should have been 38,000 out of the bond, not 38,991.
That's why I asked the
Total
question.
construction cost is one, or they forgot a zero.
The bonds there. Yes. Yeah, the total amount should read $38,918.
So for that second to last whereas, it should read 38,009. That's where it should read 38,000.
Yes,
Oh, is that Earl's
Well-
understanding also?
hang on.
Lance
Yes, it is.
says, therefore, maintenance bond amount of 3891 is recommended, provided except by the town board. For a 2-year
Next
maintenance
right
bond,
there. Okay,
so. Should be. I would go with what Lance says, because normally you're right.
no,
Well, my curiosity was, is this just a, like a premium on an insurance policy? That you're, for 10% of what it would cost, you're ensuring that that road will be whole at the end of 2 years.
yeah,
Correct.
you know what, I'm gonna recommend that you lay this over. 'Cause we've got a bond that says 3891. I can't look at it, I can't get into the agenda right now. Let me lay this over, we don't need it today. And let's get it straightened out.
All right,
Possible that number's just wrong. Or that number's just wrong. Let
Okay.
me talk to the town engineer about it and we'll get it straightened out.
all right. So I will make that motion to lay over, give me, I scroll down. I don't have the item number in front of me. What's our item number?
20.
20? Okay.
Second,
All right.
There's a motion to lay it over.
Motion, yeah, and we don't need to vote on it because it's just, it's gonna come back next month.
all right, yeah.
So we'll lay that one over until,
Could you review?
can we wait until the
We could do the
224?
January meeting, it's
31st.
I don't want to keep, if we don't need to, I don't want to add it to the 31st. 24th is fine.
Fine.
Jim, you good with?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It's not like it's. Just go add one more month to.
Yeah.
Okay,
unlikely the road's gonna fail this month.
Right.
It's gonna,
all right.
month 23 is when.
We
you're
get
gonna
cold
really-
next week.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, that's true.
So I motion that we lay over item number 20 until our 224 board meeting. At that time, we will have to take action on that. Okay, item number 21, granting 100% real property tax exemption to the city's water treatment plants.
Second.
Moved by Terry, seconded by John. Any discussion on number 21? All in favor? Aye, opposed? All right, 21 carries. And this is where we have talked about this. We will notice a little bit of difference when we get down to the consent agenda, which is items number 22 and number 23. Everybody should have had a chance to review these. So as our process goes, as long as it's unanimous, we can act on these items as a matter of consent. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second,
Moved by Dave, seconded by Terry. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so the consent agenda is approved 4-0. We do not have any other business to come forward before the board at this time. Nor do we have any executive sessions planned at this time. So I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move.
Moved by Terry, seconded by John, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye opposed. Okay, meeting is adjourned.
32 minutes.
Thank you very much, everybody.
New record.